Day 7 of the Expansion Accelerator. Let's dive in. So, what we're going to talk about today is really powerful. It's really important. It's also incredibly simple. But simple does not necessarily mean easy. And we'll talk about that in just a second. And today's teaching and energy expander is something that absolutely applies to every area of your life every single day, 365 days a year. But at the unique timing of our live program together right now, this feels extra amplified. So I really want to speak to this today. Okay. And so what we're going to talk about is honoring your yes and honoring your no. Simple enough, right? So what I find is that often when we are feeling like we're in a little bit of a funk or things are a bit crazy making, things are happening around you and you are not a fan of what is going on. Your internal reality is not as peaceful and calm as you'd like it to be. There are sometimes going to be factors outside of you that create that, but I want you to notice that if you're feeling this in any area of your life, did you maybe say yes to something when deep down it felt like it was a no? Or maybe you said no to something. Maybe you've been denying yourself something, maybe something seemingly small or something relatively significant that you want to be a yes to, that you're a yes to. So this is big because we're really establishing what it looks like to let her lead. And every single person here, every single woman who goes through the Expansion Accelerator experience, what your vision and your path looks like is going to be very different from the woman next to you and the woman next to her. But there are a few things that I know are inherently true about every single one of us. I'm going to say us because this is me included. The version of you, the version of me that has really stepped into full alignment, has unlocked her truest potential and purpose. She only says yes when she actually means it. And she says no also when she means it. And there's no getting any of that mixed up. So again, this is so simple, but it's not always easy. And I really want you to practice today and every day this week, every day moving forward, to really honor your most aligned decision no matter what. So take a moment to notice, are there any decisions that you need to make right now, that you need to make today, that you need to make this week, that you need to make before the end of the month or before the end of the year? And when you go about making those decisions, I want you to do your best to disconnect from the thoughts and experiences of others. Of course, as heart-centered women, we are always thinking about not only what's best for us, but what's best for everyone around us, right? I think that's just sort of inherent in who we are uniquely created to be. But I truly believe that what is ultimately best for you is the best for everyone around you. There's this one thing that I heard. I was listening to a podcast and this woman was talking about this thing that she'll say when she notices a need arise within her, a desire. She says to herself, for the good of the realm, and she waves her arm as if she's, this magical goddess, wizardress type of a vibe, trusting that what's best for her is best for everyone. And I have found myself doing that. And I've found myself grounding back into that as a beautiful reminder. So today, this week, I really want you to tune into and even practice. For some of you, you know what an aligned yes feels like in your body and what a no feels like in your body. And for some of you, this might actually be a brand new practice. So one thing that you can do to practice this is there's this concept that is It's not necessarily created by Danielle Laporte. If you don't know Danielle Laporte, I highly recommend getting to know her and her work. She's absolutely amazing. But the way that she teaches this is the light choice is the right choice. So what that means is when you take a moment to slow down, to pause, I would even invite you, right now I'm doing this, to close your eyes. Closing your eyes allows you to disconnect from any external stimulus, and it also allows you to bring your attention inward. So taking a moment to close your eyes, and what you'll notice and where you feel this in your body is going to vary from person to person. But typically, what is true and good and right for you, AKA, if it's good, if it's true, if it's right, if it's aligned, it's a yes, that is going to feel some version of light and expansive in your body. You're going to feel this opening, perhaps. Maybe it's in your heart space. Maybe it's in the center of your being, your solar plexus, your power center. Maybe it's in your womb. Maybe it's in your head. That's okay if it's in your head. You might even feel a natural pull forward, this energy that has you wanting to lean into it. So those can be sensations and somatic indicators that something is for you. So that's a yes. What is a no? So again, this is going to vary from person to person. I'm giving you some key indicators to look for. When you tune into your body, gosh, even as I say no right now, all of a sudden there's a ball of uncomfortable energy right in my throat. My throat is tightening. There's a discomfort there. No is going to feel heavy in your body. You might even notice that your body starts to close off, right? Like your shoulders sort of cave in. The opposite of expansion is contraction. So no is going to be heavy. It's going to be dense. It's going to be that like the contracting. It's going to be, I want to say uncomfortable. I'll go ahead and say that. Also a yes. When something is expansive and it's a yes and it has you feel a little nervous sighted, that can also be uncomfortable. So just because something is uncomfortable, just because you're noticing fear or a version of resistance doesn't necessarily mean it's a no. You can feel fear and resistance and also be expanded, right? That's the whole leaning in and expanding your comfort zone. That all typically lands on the side of an aligned yes. So no has a very different feeling and sensation in your body. One other way that you can test this or kind of play with this for those of you who are getting to know your yes and your no is you can think about something that exists in your life right now. It can be a person, it can be a decision that you made recently or even long ago in the past that was maybe like the best decision you ever made. And take a minute to close your eyes and think about that aligned yes, what you know to be yes. And then also think about something that on the flip side of that, allow yourself to think about and bring your energy and your attention to something that you know with absolute certainty is a no for you. It is a hard stop. It's a deal breaker. Those types of things, if you're not already familiar with what a clear yes and a clear no feels like, fam, that will change your entire life. The light choice is the right choice. So today, you're going to honor your yes and your no. This week, you're going to honor your yes and your no moving forward. And lastly, this could also be a really beautiful opportunity for you to reflect on where you've gone against your own inner knowing. Noticing if there's anything that you want to quote unquote clean up. For example, maybe you committed to something, like you just said yes out of habit, and then afterwards you got that sinking feeling and you're like, oh gosh, why did I say yes to that? Maybe there's a conversation that you get to have with somebody and you get to be really honest. And you can say, hey, I know that I said yes, and I really want to be in integrity, but what I'm noticing is here's how this is making me feel. Or here's what's in the realm of what's possible without me overextending myself and going into a state of complete overwhelm. So I can take on this piece. Is there any way that we can redelegate or have a conversation around or renegotiate these other pieces? So that's what this is. If you would like to journal about this today, you absolutely can. But today is really more about being aware of what's happening in your body, noticing any of the places where you've been saying yes when deep down it's actually a no, or reverse, cleaning up anywhere where you might need to clean up, and doing everything in your power to honor your yes, to honor your no today and every day moving forward.